G'day guys, and welcome to another edition of the London Session Market Analysis videos. Today is the 17th of January, Wednesday the 17th of January. So as always guys, I'll look at GJ, Gold, possibly GU and EJ. Let's get straight into it though. Looking at GJ starting the weekly, we do have the candle forming strong bullish. It has a higher low, higher high. We are engulfing the high of the previous weekly candle. This candle suggests to me that likely any pullback within it on the minor time frames be met by support head back up. So as we go down on time frames, we will start to establish what potential levels we could pull back to before we form a support head back up yet again. Looking at the daily, as I mentioned earlier in the week, what we're doing is the structure is technically bearish, but what we're doing is creating a nice clean move. So creating impulse to the upside, pull back, create high low, higher high low. Now since broken, not quite broken high the previous, we have broken high the previous weekly candle, sorry. At this point, there's a high probability, we do have counter probabilities to the upside, high, low, higher, high. We have broken high the previous weekly candle that we will continue to the upside, just based off that time frame. 187, 187.10 could be a potential target. So looking good on the daily for potential continuation to the upside. Still got a bit of clean traffic to the left. Looking at the 4-hour structure, that itself is technically bullish. Remain bullish until we close below this point here, 180, just below 185. So we can see yet again, the impulses seem to be a little less volume in them just now. The higher we get up into this range to the left, we're out of resistance just now. So yeah, might be a little bit more difficult now buying GG at the highs, but anyway, we're just going to mark in that level nonetheless. I've got to incorporate the highest point, just change that to gray. Highest point was that candle just there. See, that candle did actually close bearish, so it does create resistance above it. Looks like we've got a little bit of clean room until that point there, so potentially a little bit of space. I'm just going to mark that resistance in. I'm going to mark in the most recent support. So we are bullish, but we are at a resistance. Looks like we've formed support at resistance as well, so we're just going to mark that in as well. That could provide potential sell options. See what we've got in the M30 though. All right, and the M30 just adds confidence to look for sells below that point there. Reason being is because the structure is going to flip bearish. So what I'm going to do is just drag this down a little bit further to the left. At that point there, we've got clean traffic. Popping back below this 4-hour resistance to the left-hand side, rejecting another 4-hour resistance to the upside. So what I could do just now is I'm just going to delete this zone and I'm going to need it up. I'm just going to draw it into most recent price action, that point there. What I'm going to say is buys above that level on continuation, do a complete traffic to the left, is likely to head back up towards that 186.60 level. Again, doesn't mean we just buy it, especially if it just breaks in the next 8 minutes. By the time this video is uploaded, it'll be too late either way. But what I like to see at this point is preferably closures above if we get that, guys, especially since come from the support. Maybe a bit of exhaustion before it, so a little bit of a pullback prior to the move into that range above 186.350. Otherwise, seeing it now, made a clean move up, had resistance just here, nice move to the upside. Could have been maybe some buy options in that point there. So if we do pull back in again and form something similar, form support back above that 186 or 185.90 sort of level. And we break above, close above the resistance at that level, minor resistance formed at that level. That could be potential options to buy it. Otherwise, sells below it. Reason being, structure's going to flip bearish. So on the M30, not only that, we're rejecting the 4-hour resistance. So definitely the sells make sense if we start to pop below 185.820, which so really below 185.80. Popping back below that psychological round number. Maybe possible sells from within the highs of this, right around the highs of the range that we're currently trading. If it comes close to the London Open, still around that level, just look for your catalyst around below that 186.30. That's GJ. Trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter, guys, so I'm going to quickly move on. I was trying something with gold yesterday, just quite didn't get tagged in, but dropped. Got very close to being tagged in, but not quite. All right, so let's quickly look. Gold weekly is forming strong bearish. A lot of strengthening of stall for whatever reason right now. I think it's off the back of the chances are that they may not be as quick to cut rates as what they predicted moving forward into 2024. The weekly is now forming, I would say it's a strong bearish candle, to be honest, the way the current one's forming. I know it's not quite New York open just yet, but this candle still trading within that wick, so still could reject, but I would suggest any pullback could likely be met by support, a resistance, sorry, in the minor time frames to head back down towards the low of the current weekly. Looking at the daily, structure itself is bullish, but we are right at that support, lower highs, lower lows. We begin to pop below that previous weekly candle's low, high probability at that point there, we're going to continue to the downside. So definitely going to be interested in sales below that point. Onto the 4 hour, that is now it's actually bullish, but to add confluence to the sell options below that point there is where it flipped bearish. So means you have to wait for a closure on the 4 hour, which still got 3.5 hours left for that. But obviously clear track below, just gonna mark in that resistance because that is a potential level price could pull back to grab some more liquidity to head back down. It's also a level where we could, if we pop above, look to pull back up even higher. Below these lows, we've got some clean traffic to the left. Just gonna mark in that level of support now onto the M30. So 4 hour is out of support. Been in a creating some pretty clean moves, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, impulse, and the market's been trending. Now looking at M30, I'm just gonna mark in this level here. Reason being that is the level where structure will flip back bearish, lines up with support to the left. I'm gonna leave it in 4 hour, the 4 hour level. There's a significant support because it lines up with previous 4 hour support. So I'm gonna leave it as gray. All right, wow, nice move just there. Would have been. Personally, I just turn on charts, so I'm knowing nothing, guys. So for me, options on gold is a few options just now. Either buy it low, let it come down, form a bit of structure at these lows, pull back, even if it can potentially even flip construction M30, so we have a pullback after it taps in, or prior to it, sorry, tap in, you have a couple candle pullback, then it begins to pop above it, or if nothing else, the micro trends start to flip. So create a pullback, create a high low, high high, high low, and then look for your triggers to buy it back up from these lows, guys. That's what I'd be looking at for buys in gold for buy options. Once the M30 flips bullish, so closures above this point here, or that at that point there, also consider looking for a potential buy, but you need to be patient, wait for the closures above. As for the sells, wouldn't be chasing just now. That would have been a nice option just there, not in anything. So now it's a matter of waiting for a pullback towards either that 2025.90 level or potentially this point here. We do pull back in. If we make a clean move down and let's just say reject, might not necessarily pop all the way back down, might make a bit of a pullback any point within this level, retest that 2021, reject, come close to London Open. Could also provide some potential sell options. So sells upon a pullback, it's just a matter of where it pulls back to this stage on gold. Further sell options, obviously below 2013, 390, we've got some very clean traffic to the left. So again, below that previous weekly candles low upon continuation, current weekly is forming strong bearish. That would also be an option to look to sell, but just wait to see where it's coming from. It's coming from this one drop. Obviously need to see a bit of exhaustion prior to it just popping into that level to feel more comfortable looking for the sell option. Onto GU quickly, guys. I'm going to use this marked up chart. So the structure itself is to the downside, again trending same as gold. So we are not as clean though. It is trending to the downside. Every impulse met by a pullback, followed by another impulse, lower lows, lower highs. We're now popped into a level of clean traffic. So similar in GU, it's a little bit ahead of gold. Wait for it to pull back. At this stage, I'd rather it pull back into 126.10 to look to sell it. Again, that could be an option come London Open. The other option now is seeing we have created a lower low just now. So the buys at back above this support become more of an option. Just here, guys, we're going to flip me on 30 structure bullish at that point. And we have just obviously just created a lower low. So as soon as we start closing above, I'm just going to drag that up actually. As soon as we start closing above that level, we're back above the 4 hour support. and would have flipped the M30 structure back bullish. So that could be entries for potential buys at this stage, guys, on GU. Lastly, let's look at EJ opposite. It's obviously moving to the upside. That's quite a high. This is really, yeah, this is now, there's no point chasing it. So you're just looking for your pullbacks to retest previous level of resistance that's broken out of, where it's likely going to pull back to grab some liquidity, support to form to potentially buy back up. Where could that be? 160.40. Let it pull back down towards that level and form a support. And then you're looking for your buy options. At this stage, it sells. Unless it forms some micro trend structure anywhere really within this green zone and begins to create lower lows, lower highs, that type of scenario, I'd avoid it and just look to sell it below 159.90, that sort of level. And at that point, the 30 closed below would flip the structure bearish. That's about it, guys. Trade safe. Let's have a quick look at the news. What's going on today? We've got obviously CPI, so big one. So be very careful trading that today, guys. Don't just jump into anything. Be careful. Have a plan. Create some rules. Stick to it. Avoid the news if you can. Please do avoid it. It's not worth it. Yeah, trade safe, guys. If you can, hit the like button, share, all that good stuff. And I will catch you again later. Cheers and bye for now.